I don't get what's going on with the weird Millennium Falcon looking moment that happens in it, but I mean, I guess it's just visually it looks like that, of course. But no, I think it looks a good trailer, but we'll see what you know the ultimate. Oh shit! What's going on with this phone?
I don't know what's going on with the phone.
I just need.
Where was Chewbacca?
My fear, especially after the Marva news and some of the other stuff in Star Wars recently, my fear is Lucasfilm and Disney playing into that opening line of a long time ago a little too much. Not gonna lie, I would not put it past them to put something on Earth.
Well, I mean, officially, Indiana Jones and Star Wars are already connected because the droids have appeared in various. They were in the Well of Souls. If you look on there, you'll find a glyph of R2D2 and C3PO.
I know, but there's a difference between a little Easter egg like that and what I'm talking about. I'm talking like that fan film where they're like excavating a Star Destroyer or whatever.
That's good for a fan film.
That's what I'm.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what I'm afraid of. I'm afraid. I don't mind little Easter. That's like having ET.
Then they're going to bring Willow into it as well and tell you that Willow really happened in another planet in another galaxy, and then bring the entire
Lucasfilm cinematic universe. Damn it! And you know they're listening to us right now. You know that.
Someone is too. Someone is probably in their drug fueled addled mind has suggested this at some point to like Kathy Kennedy, and she's probably went,
"Man,
you're fucking fired."
I am so glad I recorded that. Let's roll this intro.
Welcome to a galaxy far, far away. Here at the Cantina podcast, we provide top shelf service, including rumors, leaks, news, and reviews. Come in, order a Lomanale, and remember, no droids allowed.
That's never fun. What is fun is the Cantina. Welcome to it, guys. Here on the Genreverse Podcast Network and YouTube channel. Please hit that red subscribe button if you haven't already. We're back to the regular Cantina for the first time in 10 weeks? How long was Andor on TV?
Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah, and not only that, but besides myself and Cam, who held it down for Andor, Shockey's back. What's up, man?
Not too much. I'm sorry I couldn't make it for the Andor reviews, but you guys pretty much. I think I was like the odd man out on it. It's not that I didn't hate Andor, but I was.
Not heard what you think.
What do you think?
Shockey? I enjoyed it, but I don't think it was like the greatest Star Wars. Project.
No,
it's up there. No. I don't. No.
Was going to not.
If season 2 doesn't have rebels in it, I swear to God, I'm done with Andor.
No.
Right, go for it. I'll stop.
Go, bud.
I just think that it's one of those things that I think I don't know if I'm that type of person. I have to watch it all at one time, but the week to week thing just gets me. I don't know. It's just. But I enjoyed it.
Of that was there, I think, even for us to begin with. But it became so good, we kind of
right. No, I think.
I think that there is an element of that at the start. I think.
Yeah, I definitely think that the writing was amazing. The story, is up there, is top notch. Just overall, like I don't know, like I enjoyed it. I just don't. I see the hype and everybody's love for it, and some people are putting it as the best thing. In Star Wars
Empire.
Recently, since Empire,
since Jedi,
since Jedi, yeah. I would say that. Not even close.
So I don't know. It's up there. It definitely is. I just don't know if it's that good for me. But I definitely enjoyed it. So it's very hard for me to not like a Star Wars project. I'm
Shockey won't be back on the Cantina, folks. This will be his last appearance.
He has spoken against the holy scripture of Andor.
Oh my God.
No, I'm glad to hear that you didn't just straight up hate it or anything like that. Do you plan on trying to give it another go around?
With every Star Wars project, I think I've watched everything except Kenobi. I haven't sat down and watched that a second time through, but I'll definitely watch Andor the second time through because of all the, I guess, is all the characters. I just couldn't connect the dots as well. 4 or 5 concussions that I know of and stuff. So
sound like me.
Yeah. So when you all, so what was it? I forgot. It was the last 2 episodes. The Empire was trying to bait. They were trying to capture a rebel spy or something, and I couldn't. I was I was trying to keep up with it, and I think I was just watching.
Cassian they were trying to catch.
No, the one on the ship.
No, they're talking about they set up the ship, the dead body, and pull the rebel group out to. Yeah.
So that Saga guy, we never see him on
Krieger.
Screen. No.
There it is.
They never showed that on screen.
Right.
You've just because it wasn't needed because it was there to show the ruthlessness of Luthen, basically.
Right. And I figured that out afterwards. I'm like, because I thought first they were I thought Krieger was a code for Saw Gerrera's character, and then I was like, well, no, it can't be that. And then I thought it was for Skarsgård character, and then once I realized, oh wait, this is not a character we've seen, and they're not even putting it on camera. It makes it. So I've got to go back through and watch it. So now that I understand the different players, the Mon Mothma character arc, I was really into. I thought it was a really different take on how she becomes, the leader of the rebellion and stuff. Because prior to Return of the Jedi, she was in just briefly in Rogue One, and then I think it was two episodes on Rebels where it was more or less she was chosen as the leader and trying to get her to break away from the Senate and take and go publicly. So, but we never get that kind of lead up to it. So. I thought that was amazing, and
she had a
go
scene
the easy
cut
route
from Revenge of the Sith as well. That actress first played the part in Revenge of the Sith, but it's only exists now as a deleted scene.
Right. So, but definitely gonna watch.
It kind of shows she was against where the things would go. Obviously, at that point, this is pre-Order 66, so they didn't know that was going to happen. But she was on that team, if you like, right from the word go, I guess.
Right.
I gotta know, Mike. The reason you're avoiding watching Kenobi, is it the same as me avoiding watching No Way Home? Are you afraid it won't hold up? Honest question, not being a smartass.
Yeah, maybe. Because the more I sit and think about, it's kind of in that sense where the more I think about, I need to watch Kenobi, I'm the more I think about the Inquisitors, the more I think about the
the writing.
I must admit, I did try to watch it again, and I kind of got a bit fed up with it. I think I would almost like a fast forwarded version of the bits that I kind of liked at this point.
Just the good parts.
Because there was some good parts, but it wasn't an overall, hit the ball at the park, and it so should have been. Imagine the tone of Andor, though.
Oh God!
And have that for Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Yeah, I think that there's definitely, you take elements from Andor and put in Kenobi, it makes it a lot better. I put Andor above Kenobi. That's it.
Nice.
So saying
you
that
can stay. He can stay. He can stay.
So me saying that I didn't think it was the best thing in the world doesn't mean that I'm saying Kenobi's the better of the two. I definitely think for recent projects right now, I put Andor 1, I put Kenobi 2, then Book of Boba Fett 3. I still think Book of Boba Fett, the whole.
There was those 2 episodes though that were really good.
I know, but that's just Mando season 2.5.
I know,
right?
This bull crap of giving it to Boba Fett is.
So if I was saying that, then I would go. Book of Boba Fett's low, but then it would be, for me, it would be Andor, then Mando season 2.5. Then Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Okay, all right, I'll do that.
Then Book of Boba Fett, if we're splitting them all up. All right.
Yeah, if we're gonna do that, then yeah, sure.
No. Where does Mando fall in for you on your list of Star Wars stuff, Mike?
Mando season 1, I still think in the most recent projects, is
out of everything Disney Star Wars on Disney
Disney Plus?
Yeah.
Okay.
Not the cartoon stuff.
So because I think that Clone War, the last season of Clone Wars, is still considered
just the live action.
All right, so live action, Mando season 1. It's a tie. I think it's a tie between Mando season 2 and Andor.
Mm-hmm.
Then somewhere below that is Kenobi. Mando season 2.5. If we're just gonna take those 2 episodes, then Kenobi, then Book of Boba Fett.
This is the way.
This is the way. Except for me, I would for me, I think it would be I almost, because of how great the Luke part is and the Mayfield episode, I almost want to put Mando season 2 above season 1 in some ways. But it's Andor. Well, yeah, for me, it's absolutely Andor, followed by that Mando season 2, Mando season 1 ordeal, Mando season 2.5, and then do I really need to?
Yeah. I
can step in both piles of crap, but I would probably say Kenobi and then Book of Boba Fett, because that was just wholly disappointing.
Yeah, no, I definitely. The reason why I put Mando season 1 is because I remember, like, when you sit down and you watch these things, I remember like kind of where I was at when I watched that first episode. The Grogu, when it was Baby Yoda, the reveal of that, and then just like every episode we had new characters. It was something new of Star Wars. It's kind of like what you said, Kyle, is that we're What's that?
Was that Shockey?
There's probably an element to Mando season 1 in terms of that we had just come off the tragic sequels. And we probably thought, oh, here we go again. This will be. There was probably a lot of people thinking this is going to be shit.
I think so.
Right up until it, and then it wasn't shit, and maybe there was that kind of element. I don't know that. Thank God Star Wars doesn't need to be shit all the time. That kind of elevates it. I don't know.
Right.
Just guess.
I think it goes to like what Kyle's point that he's said for a long time is like, let's get away from the Jedi. Let's get away from the Skywalker saga, and that was Mando season 1. It had nothing to do with Luke, didn't have anything to do with the Jedi, anything like that, and it was you got a whole different look at the Bounty Hunter Guild. You get the you get a look at the Empire after Return of the Jedi and how fractured it is. You get Moff Gideon at the very end there.
Get that great homage to Alien with the Mayfield episode again, the prison ship, which is great. Mando just hunting them down is a blast. Like I said, it really is just that whole giving us what we didn't get with Luke.
Yes.
Giving us that, and then that Mayfield episode, man, is just top. Not like, holy crap, that's still. Yeah. What about you, Cam? What's your order?
I mean, Andor's number 1, 100%. I would probably say then Mando 2.5. Those 2 episodes, I think, were a higher bar of quality. And then I would go Mando season 2, Mando season 1, Obi-Wan Kenobi, Book of Boba Fett. There you go.
See that. So Cam and I basically on the same page.
Yeah.
Cool. Well,
we're,
you guys,
we're not far away from each other, really.
No, not usually. Every now and then. I guess we've got some news to talk about. Real quick, since we were talking about Andor and kind of joked about it there at the beginning, I gotta know, Shockey, you were one of the ones that was like down with the idea of rated R Star Wars.
Yes.
What do you think about this Andor's mommy having said, and just FYI, we have updated that we try not to drop F-bombs on here, but she wanted to say F the Empire, frack the Empire. What was that?
You never told the Scottish guy, I swear all the time.
Yeah, I did.
No, you never.
Yes, we have. I said I want to limit them. If you let one slip, I'm not going to be able to edit out. I was just saying I don't want, since we're about to talk about the F word, I don't want to just...
consciously not trying to avoid doing it. So.
Well, you really haven't said many.
So going to that, what was interesting about that is that, so I guess with with the previous projects, really the ones that Dave Filoni's been in charge of, the cursing has been used either dank-feric or something, different, so they can get away with it, right?
Just like in the EU had some curse words,
and
so to speak.
I'm guessing when Tony Gilroy was writing this out and stuff like that, he just didn't bother to say, I wonder if there's any like alternative language for curse words, and just went for it. So it was interesting. Remember how you were talking about that human element or that earth element, and when you watch Star Wars, you don't want to be taken into it. So it was like one of those like, wait a minute, did that? Because when I first watched it, I was like, wait, did she just say that? Did she just drop that? Took it away like a little bit, but no, it wasn't too bad. I think that they could have gone further with it. I mean, I think that riot scene could have gone a lot darker. I thought they were going with that when they had Bix in the like in the holding cell, and they're torturing her and stuff. I thought for a second there when they like
bad though, like psychologically, that was like one of the worst things that I've seen in a long time in terms of psychological torture. But it's PG-13 because it's just talking, it's just words.
Yeah.
Right. And so like when they were describing what was going to happen to her, I was like, wait a minute, are they going to like kind of show like inside her mind what she's going through and everything? But they didn't. And so missed opportunity there, I think. No, push the boundaries of that PG-13,
But but that's the point. You didn't need to for that scene because it was so chilling.
But I think like this series really showed how ruthless the Empire was. Like to a point, like they wanted to eliminate these little small rebellions. They wanted, and even in the prison facility, how ruthless they were to just wipe out an entire. Like I would have loved to seen that when they were talking about like what happened on the second floor, what happened on show that, like show everybody just getting taken out at one time and stuff. That would have been amazing. See, I think again
but then you're following it from those characters' point of view, so you're getting into their head that they don't know. All they know is what they're hearing. That's the whole point, that you're isolated. If you show it, then the audience gets a clue in more than the characters do. So,
I mean, when it comes to
stop giving suggestions on it. Right.
When they said shit in the early episode, I was not a big fan. It didn't ruin anything, but I wasn't a big fan because again, that's very
out of that element.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I don't mind the edgy, like showing people having actually engaged in sexual intercourse. No issue with it. Pretty girl in her underwear, no issue with it. They put ripped dudes in their bare chests all the time in movies. No big deal. I'm fine. People get it on in Star Wars. But had they left the F-bomb in, I think that would completely ruin so much good of this show for me. Fight the Empire's great. They could have said they could have been tongue-in-cheek, frack the Empire. I would have been I would have hated that as almost as much. But
damn or something like that, which seems
damn the Empire would have been fine. Yeah. Anything, even a in-universe curse word. Fight was fine, but I'm so happy they decided against putting in a full-blown F-bomb in there. Cam, what do you think?
Yeah, no, I agree with you 100%. I just don't see the need for that word to have come up. We can make up their own curse words that mean the same thing, and go with that. It's another universe. That's the way it should be. I don't mind shit so much because again, being Scottish, that's almost like not even a bad word. You know what I mean?
I agree. It's not they're not bad words to me either. But it is very earthly.
No, I don't think they should ever go down that route. And I think, it's the one thing that they maybe thought, let's just switch that. They made the right call on, and I'm glad they kind of seemed otherwise to have just let them go with it.
Excuse me. Alrighty then. Well, Shockey, you have some stuff that you wanted to bring to the show today. A little bit of a potential hubbub buzz. I don't know.
I don't know how. Yeah, I don't know how like big news it is or how anything like. But so we all know that there's been a switch of Bobs back to the original Bob at Disney
Playing
World.
musical Bobs.
Yeah, one Bob for another, type deal. So everybody's kind of been anticipating some major changes now that Iger has taken back control of the company. And so from the recent town hall meeting he just did with Disney fans and stuff, Iger is pretty much said there's going to be some changes, but he's going to take his time with it. One thing we do we've already seen is that in the entertainment side, that he wants to make sweeping changes. I guess that multiple reports have come out that I don't know the exact details of it, but that Chapek was fudging numbers with Disney Plus and Disney Entertainment numbers and everything.
Yeah.
And so the Disney Plus part of it wasn't as good as what it was being portrayed. And so anyways, going off that is that Iger was always, when he ran the company, was always about making sure that the Walt Disney Company always produced great theatrical productions. And if you look at his record while he was CEO, is that it was one of the strongest time periods that the Disney Company had. It became probably the most dominant production company during his time, with the taking all the animated classics and making them live action, going over and purchasing Marvel and creating the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Say what you want about the Star Wars franchise and
they made money.
It's made money.
They made money, right?
Especially the first one.
Yep.
And so from what I've heard, from people in the know over at Lucasfilm, is that from a couple of meetings that already, is that the focus will be now to go back to the theatrical side. And I'm assuming that it's going to be the same thing for Marvel, is that we've seen a lot of Disney Plus projects in the works while Chapek was in charge, and not so much a focus on theatrical productions. And you can see that it's taken a box office hit with the besides, I would say, Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, almost every previous Disney production, Marvel,
relatively
Star Wars, underperformed, correct. And so the push now is is now going to go back to theatrical. So once we get these Disney Plus projects that are scheduled to come out, Ahsoka, Mando season 3 and stuff, like those are all going to still stay focused on there, but the amount of attention and focus on just Disney Plus is going to be split up. So I don't know if that means Lucasfilm goes back into splitting it into theatrical and Disney Plus projects and stuff, but one thing I was told is that Rogue Squadron is getting a push. Now I don't know how fast and everything. I think from what I've heard is that the goal is end of 2024, so roughly 2 years from now.
What to start shooting?
I don't know the exact details. I would assume is either to start shooting, or
two very different things,
but to get it off the ground and so because it's right now it's just on pause. Like there needs to be a deadline. Like we need to get this project rolling. None of this we're gonna shelve this.
Production Weekly's got a Star Wars movie scheduled at Pinewood. I think recently, and no one kind of knows what that's supposed to be. I'm not suggesting it is that, but it seems like there's something that seems further along than the others at the moment.
Well,
I don't know what that is.
They did have this in production, so it's pre-production, so to speak, ideas and scripts. We heard they were working on the filming technology and things like that. They've never come out and officially said anything other than it's not on that date anymore. And they didn't even make a verbal thing about it. They just removed it, So I could see that being the one, but it scares the hell out of me. Like Mike said and Cam brought up, it's two different things on whether it's release in 24 or start in 24. If they're going to be filming this thing in it scares.
So what scares you about it? Because I think from what I know is that the movie was pretty much so. Like, I got a different report than from other outlets. That now I know that what I get might be BS and stuff like that, and you know, my source might. But from what I was told, it wasn't necessarily a story issue. It was more about technology. Is that there was a big scare because of what Top Gun Maverick was able to produce and everything. They basically said this has got to be equivalent to that, because if you think about it, that's what you're making, you know, is something equivalent to Top Gun. And if Tom Cruise beats you out, then shit, you know,
more like Top Gun 2, where there's an actual mission and stuff. But but my fear is 2 words: Patty Jenkins. Is she still attached? Is she still involved? Are you using what she
could
had
be
started?
Like a Tony Gilroy, you know, situation with Rogue One, you know, type deal. Where
that scares
what was it? What was the director before Tony Gilroy came in?
It was Gareth Edwards.
Yeah, Gareth
Gilroy
Edwards.
had to finish off some of it. Yeah.
So it might be a situation where Patty Jenkins gets a writing
Gilroy
credit or
didn't
something.
write Rogue One.
But he got a writing credit for it.
Yeah, because of the stuff he added in. Yeah, but the actual script existed prior to that.
He did. Listen, from what that trailer of Rogue One came out with, what the movie came out with, they made a lot of changes to that film. And you know, it shows
still pretty damn good.
He pretty much saved that film. I think it's pretty clear he saved that film. And rumors are that he shot more than even it was suggested that he shot.
He just came out with a recent interview about that. Like, I think he finally, like, somebody finally cornered him into it, and he was like, you know, I don't know, like, with the NDA and stuff, but he kind of let it slip that, you know, that movie was basically shot twice. You know, what you had on the movie trailer and then what he did. So
like I said, my biggest fear is her and her involvement and how much, because I was still scared crapless with her. It was going to be Top Gun 1 but flight school, not just a special school, just straight up flight school. That's been one of my biggest fears. We know they introduced Coron Horn in Obi-Wan Kenobi, which is a little bit later for him to be so young, for him to be an adult during the to be a seasoned pilot and capable fighter. By the time we get to the OT era, if they go with that, we've heard rumors about setting it between Empire and Jedi, where they would probably retcon stuff and be like, look, here's more of them on the push
it after Rise of Skywalker as well.
which was another thing. And Cam and I are behind that idea, as well as, you know, basically kind of taking the general gist of what Stackpole's books did, but upping it a generation. So Akbar's dead. Put Wedge as the admiral in charge of the Navy. You know, the fleets, if you will. Man. And then you move Poe up to the Wedge Antilles. You know, commander of Rogue Squadron that you had in the books, and instead of marching on to Coruscant to establish the new Republic, you're marching on Coruscant to take out the remnants of the First Order and reestablish the new Republic. I'm down with either one of those. I don't want flight school. They are supposed to be special forces. They're supposed to be the best of the best, which means they do come together for a training period to work together, but it's not flight school. It is the best of the best. Come together, go do your mission. Like that's what it. So
there's never been any indication it would be flight school. So, you know,
I know. I'm just.
I
get Top Gun thing,
I agree with you.
Yeah.
That's not what I would do. I want to happen, but you know, we're just going to have to wait and see what happens. You know, at the moment, there's nothing solid out there to say this is definitely a movie filming. I think once a movie goes into production and we can say this has started actually filming now, you know, then we can say, right, we know where we're going next. Because at the moment, there's been. I mean, even last year we had rumours that there was secret films might be shooting, and it ended up being a Disney Plus show.
Yep.
Right.
You know, so
Skeleton Crew.
Yeah, it ended up being Skeleton Crew. So
Go ahead, finish your point.
No, I was just going to say, so rumours that there's a movie or something booked into Pinewood, I don't think that's enough to really kind of, not for Star Wars anyway, to say that there's definitely a movie going to shoot this year. So we just need to wait and see.
Let me pose this to you, Shockey, because it kind of goes to the first point you were talking about, Iger's wanting to move away from some Disney Plus stuff. We've seen in Marvel them take a planned series, Armor Wars, and turn it into a film. Mm-hmm. Do you see where Star Wars might want to do something similar? An idea that we had a while ago, that they might have the big culminating event with Ahsoka and Mando and all of that, Thrawn being a through line,
being in a movie,
being a potential movie, and we were like, would it be theatrical? Would it be Disney Plus? Do you see them maybe taking some of these future things that were going to be series and making movies out of them on the Star Wars side?
Yeah, so it's a good point you make. I think it's going to be a wait and see how Knives Out does and the Netflix experiment there, where you have a limited theatrical release and then going to straight to Netflix. I think if it's a success, I think you could see something with the culmination of the Mando storyline be turned into a 2.5 3 hour film, or like maybe it's like the last season of Mando and then boom, you get this one humongous episode that wraps everything up, and they put it out in theaters. And so it's a wait and see concept of that. I think you're going to see more new projects, new stories and everything go out to theaters before you see a transition from Disney, like a Star Wars Disney Plus project going to theaters, because I just don't see anything right now in the future that would have that big of a this is going to be a box office hit. I think with Marvel it's a little bit different. Marvel, you can you have the characters like a Nick Fury or and stuff like that. Samuel L. Jackson can go do a PR campaign and get people excited about it. I don't think there's that character, that actor out there right now with Star Wars that would get that many people to go to the theaters and sit for 2.5 hours.
I don't know. The idea of a Thrawn on the big screen is a draw, even if it's not the original Zon Thrawn and based on new Zon Thrawn.
I think they need to introduce him first. We've never seen him in live action.
Like I said,
it becomes a draw because
I don't know. That's a big name.
That character. No, think about it. The only people that know that character are people that either read the EU or watched Rebels. That's
a lot of Star Wars fans.
But is that going to be enough to be like a billion?
It might be.
It might be movies and only watch the live action stuff.
A billion.
Never read a book in their life, and I've never watched a cartoon. You've never watched the cartoons.
All right, so let me ask you this, Kyle. Like, if let's say the live action version of Thrawn here in the upcoming Mando and Ahsoka universe is well received, would you be okay with a trilogy of or even 1-2 films of Heir to the Empire with and bring Vader?
There's where I kind of was thinking already, because that's a line that we've seen and some Easter eggs running from Bad Batch and into stuff with Mando of the potential to bring in sporadic cloning technology, a hidden clone base, a lot of Thrawn Heir to the Empire elements.
What if they use a different Jedi instead of Luke?
And that's fine. Potentially. And what I mean by fine is not that I'm going to be in love with it, because as you guys have seen, I crapped all over half of what Disney's put out on Disney Plus, and all but like 1.5 movies are just straight forgettable. So I'm open to the idea relatively. However, it's all about the execution. I mean, God, I hope it would be good, but it also makes me just want to ram my head against the wall for all the money they freaking left on the table, dumping everything like they did in 2015.
In the first place.
And they didn't. And I was even one of those that was like, I know you cannot just tell the EU stories. I know you can't. The characters,
wrong, yeah.
Unless you wanted to recast, and the fact that all three were alive in 2015, 16, 17 meant that you couldn't recast like that. People would lose their smack. I knew that you couldn't just straight up adapt the EU, and to jump to the Vong invasion to keep the ages relatively right, that wouldn't work either. So I'm not one of those that was like, give me the EU 100%. No, but when Kennedy was like, it's gone, we don't want to use any, they didn't. The most they used it in episode 7 was straight up ripping Jason and Jaina and then not making them twins and naming him Ben. So if they do it well, Shockey, yes, I would be open to it. And that's why I mentioned, the culminating thing. Could that be the first of a Thrawn trilogy or something like that? You know what I don't. He's like the only thing that I can think of, like Cam was pointing out. What is the big draw? And I think that apparently there's enough of the animated fans.
Action, maybe. But just
there's apparently enough.
You would need to bring them into a show first.
Yeah. I'm not saying that you just put him in a movie initially. Yeah, you have something in the series, but can he be the one that helps drag that out of? Because otherwise,
he's really good. People love him.
Yeah, you're waiting on. You're waiting on whatever Taika's gonna do if he does. I would start getting worried about Taika's films.
Well, you also have to think too is another interesting thing, because James Earl Jones signed off that they can use his digitized voice for Vader. Yes. So that means that there's more projects in the works for a Darth Vader. So
yeah,
that could be go down that storyline there, and I think Thrawn, Vader.
I'd like to see a Darth Vader series or a Darth Vader movie or something like that. If it was focused on him and some event in his life, but. They don't have a lot of space to play with Vader, do they? But the things that are all covered in canon as part of comics and games.
But it's weird, but it's weird though for them to, or at least James Earl Jones to announce that he signed off and given Lucasfilm the rights to use his voice, and that he's done, after Kenobi. But so that means that they approached him. Yeah, but still, if it was just games, they wouldn't make that announcement.
I'm with Mike. I think they've got plans, Cam, and you and I know exactly how and when they could start putting Star Wars on the path to have a lot more Vader. And it's in Ahsoka.
Well, I mean, he's already
the world between exactly. You've already got
he's in
Annie in there.
Yeah.
But no, I'm saying her and them fracking around with the timeline. Oh my god, dude!
Don't do that. And if they end up doing some sort of Back to the Future type shit with the Star Wars universe, it will just be like Fonzie jumping the shark back in Happy Days. That'll be it. I just don't see how anybody with any half a sense would sign off,
because they want to use Vader, and like you said, where else will they? How else?
I mean, that's like a Fox decision. That's like something that Fox would do.
And look, now you got
Vader.
people.
Darth Vader makes money. Okay,
you got people.
I like that.
Cam, you've got people begging for Foxmen to make an appearance in Secret Wars. So yeah, I absolutely believe that they would
done
do
by Marvel in a good way. Is what they want. People aren't saying that those movies are good.
No, they are. They're saying this. It's the same group that talks about the prequels in positive light. It's the same ones, Cam. They're there, bud. I hate to tell you,
of course, there's going to be people that love the X-Men movies. I'm not saying there wouldn't be, but there's not going to be that many of them. They're not going to be that much of
more than you think.
I don't think.
I just saw someone today.
The box office for those movies says kind of slightly different.
Cam, look at the love. Oh God, I'm going to mention this in front of Mike. Look at the love Andrew Garfield's got, and look at the box office for the Amazing Spider-Man films. Because
they did really, really well with those characters and made a good movie. If they do Secret Wars and they make it good, and we all think, oh, those were great, and that gets people to watch those old movies again, that works for Marvel. That
people
works for Disney 'cause they own them.
The point is that people loved, and it wasn't they loved Andrew after seeing No Way Home. They were in love with him before and acted like the movies didn't tank at the box office. Acted like Amy Pascal didn't throw a sandwich at Kevin's.
Like people would say, Garfield was the better Spider-Man, but Maguire was the better Peter Parker.
Clip that. Can you clip that scene right there? And
take it out of context.
Yes. Garfield was the better Spider-Man. Right there, it had Cam. Put that on social media so everyone sees that Cam says Garfield is the better Spider-Man.
That's what people used to say. His Spider-Man was witty, had one-liners, but he wasn't a very Peter Parker. He didn't come across
I know.
Peter Parker.
I know. I'm just telling
Maguire
there's love for things that you don't quite understand the amount of, and it scares.
I never felt they got either of them right, and even in some respects, I'd like to see Tom Holland grow into someone who quips a little bit more when he's fighting people. But you know, he is young at the moment, and I'm kind of thinking that's an eventual place we go. Anyway, Star Wars.
Anyways, yeah, Star Wars. I guess you know. I talk about streaming business side of things on Daily Cup of Genre with Manny all the time. And it just comes down to simple math. Guys, there's no way to produce the amount of content off of subscriptions alone. One of the ways Iger Chapek had kind of, I don't want to use cook the books because this is actually kind of clever, was putting things that were on Disney Plus, putting them on standard TV, and then being able to say ad revenue for it running on regular. And this is the way I understand
That's why Andor is on Hulu right now.
Part of it, yeah, as well as to try to draw in some subscribers and stuff like that. But it really was to say, here, this earned X amount of ad revenue during the time it ran on regular TV, and that helps offset. So guess what that means, guys? You can look forward to one day of your streaming stuff not only being less, like, you know, we've heard, Mike heard, less streaming stuff, more focus on theaters. You can look forward to, I almost guarantee it, I'd almost bet $1,000 within the next, if streaming sticks around, within the next 5 years, you're going to see ads regardless of tier. The low tiers, you'll get Tide and Downy softener ads, while the high tier, you'll get inside ads. So Disney Plus will show you Disney merch and Disney Parks ads on the high tier, because that's the only way you're gonna make enough money.
Well, if you pay enough money, like if you
or raise the prices up to like $30 a month.
Right, you do that. You say $30 a month, and you don't have to see a single ad whatsoever. But I think
there's definitely going to be more tiers in the future.
Right.
And more
I mean, Disney Plus is going to have it soon.
They're greedy. They want money, and they like to double dip. I mean, there's one of the big pay TV companies in Britain announced this week that they're basically going to charge people extra money if they record programs and fast forward the adverts. They're actually going to charge.
Oh my God! Are you kidding me?
This is what I was reading. You know, this was
how do they monitor what you
report?
Oh my God!
I don't even know. Funnily enough, I used to work for that company back in the day, but that was a long time ago. So I have no idea how this would work or anything like that. But I mean, already when I look at that service, I pay as much as maybe I do for Disney Plus. I watch one channel on it. The rest is just crap, and it's filled with adverts anyway. Yeah. So, do you know what I'll do? Switch off, stop subscribing. They can shove it right up their back. As far as I'm concerned.
And then you add in the problem of piracy. It's so easy with digital
they
stuff.
They don't produce enough of their own content to make it worth bothering.
Well, not necessarily, but like Disney and
got is that we don't have HBO in this country, right? And they show the HBO content on one of their channels called Sky Atlantic, and it means that you have to. Gotcha. So basically, House of the Dragon, let's say.
Yeah.
That's like it. That's all I watch on that channel when that's on, and it's only on once every 2 years. So it's just not worth it.
Anyways,
I think you're going to see more Disney Plus subscribers, because remember, before Chapek was ousted, the announcement was that the free Disney Plus would be available with ads. And so there's your ad revenue there. Then you don't have to switch over.
I don't think it's going to be free. I think it's for like $4.99.
No, it's a free one. There's a free one where it's like full ads. Then there's a middle tier where it's like kind of like what you were saying, ad supported, right? Where it's like, I guess the, Disney ads or whatever. And then it's what current subscribers have for like $13 or whatever, or $14, what it is, where you don't have any ads. But no, even Netflix doesn't make a profit off of, their model and stuff. And I think Iger knows that. And so where do you make a profit? In movies, in the theater. And so I think that's where he's going. And I think that's where you saw the biggest growth of Disney, besides the initial wave of Disney Plus. You saw a big spike in the stock market for it because, everybody was on board with it, but then it faded out. It was just like every other streaming service. And so
there's one other funds stream that they could have, but they won't do it. I don't know. Maybe they will eventually release physical media with special features that are not on Disney Plus.
Yeah, I mean,
literally, I would love to own a physical copy of Andor and Mando season 1 and 2 and 2.5. I would absolutely love to have physical media again. It is a niche area now, but printing discs is so cheap that it is again money left on the Cam. If you had the $30, $40 disposable income to buy a copy of Mando season 2 with extras that you hadn't seen on Disney Plus, would you buy it?
No.
What? Are you serious?
I don't care. What extras are we talking about here? What are these extras? If it's like the director talking about it.
No, don't worry about it. I don't get it. I don't get it. So you could watch it just disappear.
I've got it on Disney Plus. I'll just watch it.
That's not guaranteed though. That's not guaranteed.
If I ever stop subscribing to Disney Plus, it'll be because I'm fed up watching them.
No, it's the idea.
I would watch them all again.
It's the idea, and that's true. You don't necessarily rewatch stuff as much as others, but it's the idea. It's not the idea of you getting rid of Disney Plus on your own. It's the idea of them losing some sort of rights, shutting it off, turning it off themselves, so the subscription service system fails. But like I said, you're not one to rewatch things.
So I would
love to have physical media. I've probably watched the Star Wars films more than either of you, but that was because there was less to watch in those days and less to do.
There you
know
go.
What I mean? And
and I don't know. I watched it every night. I rotated through them for 3 years in a row in middle school. But anyways,
but
they were on while I was sleeping and stuff.
To your point, Kyle,
we only had one videotape in the
house. To your point, Kyle, you're saying what was it, the making of Mandalorian and stuff like that? Instead of releasing that on Disney Plus, if they had released the DVD with that on it, I mean, think of how much information we got from the those two releases when the Mando 1 in season 1 and season 2 came out. Like, I think people would have paid just to see that.
Yeah, I know a lot of us would have, and like I said, I know it's more niche today. Cam proving that than it used to be, but there's still a large market, and like I said, it's so cheap to print off the discs.
Yeah,
it's literally pennies to manufacture, and you sell it for $40 a season, $50. No, I think old DVD seasons used to be like $50-$60. So sell it for $60. I'll buy it right now. Andor, Mando,
get away
Mando
with it for 25, 30
I'll buy it for $60. I'll buy it for $60. But that's the other media stream I could think of. Is there any other news, Cam? Anything else you wrote up?
There is. Dafne Keen kind of teased a little bit of plot details for the Acolyte this week. She's doing a press junket for Is That Material season 3, and she was talking a little bit about it's obviously can't say too much, but we're really having fun filming the Acolyte, etc. And she kind of mentioned that it is a Sith-led story. So she kind of confirmed what we kind of already knew. She did say one interesting thing, that it was about the Sith infiltrating the Jedi. And I thought, has she picked that up right? You know, would it not be the Sith more infiltrating the Republic rather than the Jedi? What benefit would the Sith get out of infiltrating the Jedi? I'm not really seeing that as a plot point, but, you know, again, either she could have slightly misspoken how she meant that to come across, or, you know, we just don't understand what the situation is, obviously, because we know very little about a show that's still filming at the moment. So wait and see, I guess. But that's about it. Nothing much.
Yeah, I mean, I could see where she would say infiltrating the Jedi being the Republic, kind of like stand in one and the same, if you will. But I can also see them having I mean, this is 100 years before Palpatine, and maybe she even, God, we've had that theory before. What if Palpatine 100 years ago? But I don't know. What do you make of it, Mike?
It makes a little bit of sense, because I was thinking it when I saw that comment of the Tales of the Jedi, and you think of it like Dooku, how Sidious was able to flip him from the Jedi to the Sith. So I could see something like that, is that maybe the whoever Sith Lord that you were following to get an apprentice.
To get an apprentice. Yeah.
Yeah.
But George Lucas, and I think they would listen to maybe what George Lucas said in this, always said that was one of Sidious's great mistakes, because after Darth Maul was killed, he needed somebody quick. He couldn't afford to wait to get somebody young and build them up. So he got Dooku because he was a stopgap measure, but he really desired Anakin and so on. And ultimately that was his downfall, wasn't it? Do you know what I mean? And the end of the Sith as a result of that. So, I don't know if that would make sense to see the Sith of the past taking a Jedi and converting them. It feels like they more train them up from scratch, wouldn't you say? Does that not feel like the way the Sith would work?
I think so. Maybe just with this particular storyline. They do use that.
It'll be interesting. I've wanted to see some dark side stuff for a while. Hopefully this is good.
That's true.
Still should have been about the Witches of Dathomir. Anyways, anything else going on in Star Wars, guys? Anything? No,
not a whole lot until January.
Yep, January. We got what? We got Bad Batch. We've got first. Mando. We've got Vision Season 2 next year. What else? Ahsoka next year.
Bad Batch Season 2.
That was the first thing I said.
It's Skeleton Crew.
It's late next year.
I know. That's why I'm trying to close out.
I don't know when Skeleton Crew is.
When is Skeleton? Is that 24 or is that next
Can't remember.
I mean, it's been filming, so...
Yeah.
Yeah. It says 23. Yep.
Yeah.
Fall or winter of 23 according to Collider. Yeah. Alrighty, guys. Well, everyone else, if you need news, entertainment news, and opinions, written reviews, celebrity interviews, and more, go to lrmonline.com. We've got a lot of all of that. All the podcasts now go up on Amazon Music, Amazon Podcast. So we're there now, guys. That's pretty cool. All the distribution has switched over, so we're good to go. Daily Cup of Genre and Breaking Geek cover everything you can imagine in entertainment and geek pop culture. We've got AVR holding down with Chainsaw Man, the Cantina. You guys are watching that. And then Marvel Multiverse Madness, which is the Marvel version of this. All the podcasts also go up on our YouTube channel. Hit the red subscribe button, or if it's white because you're using some dark mode plug-in like I do, so that way my face isn't completely washed out with the brightness of screens. You can find anime reactions, trailer reactions when I have the time to do them, and so much more. So yeah, lots of great content for you guys to check out. Shockey, where can people find you at online, or whatever else you wanted to say?
Yeah, no, you basically hit everything. You guys can find me at LRM_Shockey on Twitter. It's pretty much where I check the most out. But yeah, thank you for all listening, and like Kyle said, let us know in the comment section what we can do, what you like, what you don't like, what we can do better, and keep going.
Cam?
Nah, nothing to say.
All right, guys. May the force be with you.